Yep, it's a gun. What kind of gun it is. Something a little different, which is why I bought it. Yeah, a bit of a cannon, isn't there? It looks like a Dance Brothers revolver. And it is a Dance Brothers revolver. It's a pretty good size too. It's got an 8-inch barrel on it. During the Civil War in the United States, South needed arms, of course. And the Dance Brothers, I think they made gin mills or some bloody thing, came up with this copy of the Colt Dragoon. One of the big differences you'll notice is there's no recoil shield on it. She's just flat. I saw this and I've been eyeing it for quite a while. You probably heard me say that more than once. I've got to say, Pietta's fit and finish has improved immensely over the last few years. The bluing on this revolver is really nice. Thing with the Dance Brothers revolver, you may or may not be able to see that. There's no engraving on the cylinder. She's plain Jane. Actually, I kind of like that. The frame is identical to the 1851 Navy and also the 1860 Army. The only difference is the recoil shields are gone. There's no recoil shields on it. Probably to save material, because the Confederacy did not have an abundance of steel to make firearms with. It's actually quite pleased with it. A little disappointed that they told me the frame was bigger. I assumed it was a different revolver. If I'd known that, I probably would not have bought this. But it is different enough. I'm going to keep it. Appreciate the thing. So it's got a nice round barrel on it. And she's a little different here. So it's got the standard 51 style loading ram. Well, this one, you won't be slamming it shut. She's, I guess you could. There you go. It's too new, I guess. Yeah, the fit and finish on this has actually come a long way. Nice dark walnut grip on her. It's oiled. They don't varnish them from Pietta. Probably another one of the reasons their prices are lower, I suppose. But it is basically 51 frame. The shield's gone. And of course the barrel's different. And it's an 8-inch barrel. Should be a nice shooter. But I noticed reading up on these, there seemed to have been a dispute whether or not they had the same frame as the 51. Well, they do. Exactly the same frame. Except for, like I mentioned, shields are gone. Oh well, can't have too many guns. And wife doesn't know about this one yet. But I'm keeping it anyway. Despite the fact they told me that this was a bigger frame, which for that price to make a gun that's completely different, I was kind of suspect to begin with. So I'm not terribly surprised to have the same frame. But anyway, there it is, Pietta Dance Brothers 44 that was manufactured in 1862. Apparently they only produced 500 guns in total, because the end of the war pretty much caught up. Plus they had to move their factory because, as you know, the North was beating them. So they moved it south to avoid capture. And original one of these, they say be worth up to 50,000 bucks. I ain't paying that for a revolver, especially when you can't really shoot. A lot of people knock the Italian repros, but I'll tell you, I love them. The biggest reason I love them is because you can go out and shoot them. You know the thing's not going to blow up in your hand. It's made of modern steel. It'll handle the modern black powder. And I'm one of the fellows who believes that the new black powder is better than it was. Because even during the Civil War there was an improvement in black powder. Which is probably why the Walkers were blowing up during the 1860s and 70s. Improved powder, using the same amount. Of course, the metallurgy back in 1847 wasn't as good as it was in the 1860s. And like I said about these modern reproductions, they work exactly the same way. It's easy to get parts for them, and you can go out and shoot the hell out of them all day. You don't have to worry about wearing down or damaging an antique firearm. So there she is, 1862 Dance Brothers 44. There you go. It's the 36 caliber cylinder and the 36 caliber barrel. The only difference is they shaved off the sides of the 51 frame, and the 60 are the same frame. So the 1851 frame and the Pietta Dance Brothers 44 is the same frame. The only difference is they did away with the recoil shields and called it the Dance Brothers.